Welcome back to the Crafter build. In today's video we're going to be sorting out the flooring and getting some sound denting in and going from there really. So I've took up all the floor. As you can see, it's not in a great state. This is one reason that you never screw directly into the floor, just because you see the rust that's building up around there already. So I'm going to sort all that out, and then I've got some battens to put down on the floor, stick them down, and then the original flooring. Managed to save that, so that'll be going back down on top, and then I'm going to finish it with some kind of vinyl flooring, I reckon, probably like a natural oak. So yeah, first job is to obviously clean out the back of this, get all this cleaned out, give it a little sand down on all these holes that have been drilled, fill them in. I'll panel wipe the whole lot, make it nice and clean, and then we can go down with the new stuff. So yeah, hoovering ain't really done much, quite a lot of it is stuck to the floor, so just going to go around it all with a wet cloth first, get the worst of it up, and then give it a good wipe and a sand. It's much better now, a lot cleaner, but we're still not done. So basically what I'm going to do next is all the holes and all the bits of rust. I'm just going to go over with sandpaper, get the majority of that off, and then like these little holes where they're screwed into the floor, after I've sanded them, I'm going to fill them. I've got some JB Weld stuff that I'm going to put in the holes here. Like I say, sand down all these bits of surface rust that are all around it, and then after all that and the weld is in, I'm going to just panel wipe the whole thing after sanding it down, make sure it's all nice and clean, and then last but not least I'll use hammerite and just go over everything with hammerite, so just to stop all the rust coming back. Now we've got the fun part. That's what you want to do. If the paint starts cracking, get all that off as well so you can get under it and then recoat it. Spot on. Got a lot of rust to get through. So I'm going to start at the back, work my way around and try and get off every bit of rust I can. So, got rid of most of the rust now. This is what we'll be using to fill the holes. Literally squirt it out, mix it up, place in the holes, job done. Right, filled all the holes, so while that's drying and setting and going off, I think what I'm going to do is just panel wipe over all the panels in the van and start putting the sound denting on. Got a pack of that come. I don't know if it's going to be enough because it's a lot smaller than I thought it'd be, but let's clean it up and get sticking. So yeah, just cleaned all the panels just to make sure all the crap was off them, especially after cutting the windows and the roof venting last week, just to get rid of any dust that could be on them, so the sound denting panels are going to stick as good as possible. Gone for these Dead Easy by Dodo Mat 40 in here, so it should hopefully be enough. This is all they are. Just little panels like this. Oh, just little panels like this. Peel that off, stick them on, Got 40 to get around, so should be plenty. Sound deadening is all in. Just about enough. I've got 4 left. 4 left to do, which I will stick on the wheel arches when that stuff's proper dry. It's been quite hard to avoid all this, so I have trodden a bit of it, so I'm going to have to go over certain bits of it, but it ain't too bad. And like I say, last 4, do 2 on each wheel arch just to get rid of them and use them up. They are pretty heavy. I didn't realise when that box got delivered it was actually well heavy. Come with 40 sheets in total, so all 40 are used, but yeah, I wouldn't want to do much more than this, to be honest. You don't need to do the whole van. I'm going to leave it here today like this, and then tomorrow I'm going to do the floor, finish that off, and yeah, I'll go for a little drive tomorrow morning, so I'll see if it makes a difference, because obviously an empty van is so tinny. So hopefully that'll make a bit of difference driving normally. Obviously then when the rest of the insulation and it's all boarded, it should be dead quiet. It should be nice. So yeah, see you tomorrow to do the floor. There we go, gone over every little possible bit of rust, or well, majority of the scratches as well. So it's patchy as, but you're never going to see it. I've just sealed all around the edge as well, just because if any water gets in, that's going to be the most likely places for it to get in. So yeah, happy with that. Cut and stick the battens on when this is dry, and then we're ready to go. Cut most of the battens in now, just a rough bit while the paint dries. Then like across the back here, right along the edge of all this, I'll put in after the insulation, because that will roughly make up the 10mm from sticking it on the ridges. Doesn't need to be properly stuck down at the edge, just want it so it's not bouncy on the ply. So yeah, I'll wait for this paint to dry and then stick all these down and then get the insulation under. Battens are all down now, just all stuck down. I'm gonna wait for them to dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to insulate between them when they're dry enough to. I'll just quickly panel wipe over the floor before I stick anything down, and then I'm going to add little bits in where I need to, just along the side. I'll add another one along here, but obviously this sits slightly lower, where I've stuck all these to like the ridges. So where this sits lower, I'll just need to pack this out a bit, just so it reaches the same height as this, because I don't want any bend in the step. There we go, another job out of the way. Just need to tape across all the joins, just waiting on tape, haven't actually got any yet, but be picking some up soon. The battens weren't brilliantly dry, and so a couple of them moved and I've had to stick them down again, so hopefully they're all going to hold now. But yeah, that's it. I know most people use like Celotex for the floor, but yeah, I'm probably just going to stick with this and use this. and not bother putting the Celotex down. Then yeah, going to ply over it, and then I've got some like laminate flooring, what do you call them, slats kind of thing to stick down after when the floor's on. So yeah, like I say, waiting on a few other bits like the tape and everything, and then we will crack on with the rest of it. So yeah, all the foil and battening's done now, so put the original flooring back in. I'm going to mark it out with a level just straight across, so I know where all the battens are to screw it all down, and then give it a good clean before we lay the floor. As the flooring's in 3 parts, just going to find the batten there, slightly lift the next bit in there, and just line straight across. I know all my screws then will be nicely in line and won't miss the batten. And I can follow that line along for the next sheet, and it should all line up, and I won't get no extra holes in the floor that I don't need. All screwed down and in, and you know the worst thing about it? It now looks exactly the same as when we started. But yeah, just going to panel wipe the whole floor now, and then get sticking. So this is the flooring we went for from B&Q. Hopefully this box is enough to do the van. It's about 5 square meters I think, so hopefully enough, not too sure, but it is just like an oak effect. But yeah, they're just peel and stick. I had these in my old van and they was actually really good. Yeah, had them in my old van, they never lifted once, they stayed stuck down. I had that for like 4 years, so I just thought go with it again. It's not too expensive, it's one of the cheaper options for flooring, so why not? Hopefully it works again. But yeah, I guess there's one way to find out, so we'll get cracking on it now and then the floor will be done. First bit's in, these bits are all awkward. I want to keep these tie down straps because we're going to have a dog crate which is probably in there, so them tie down rings are going to be super handy, so I'm keeping them in. I'm going to keep the back ones in as well because they're going to be super handy for having things in the back under the bed and tying down. But these are all the awkward cuts, get these out the way, then we're on a straight run for a bit. But yeah, I've worked it out and it's about 4 length and 11 across, so yeah, I'm going to be short. So I'll probably have to order another little pack, but I'm going to see how short I am, work out how many planks I need and go from there. Hopefully I only need to get a little pack, and I think they're about a tenner, so it's not too bad at all, and then I can finish off if it's short. I've called it. Slightly too short, just going to have to get one more box just to finish off down this side, but I'm happy with how it's come out. It's good. Seems to have stuck well. Only time will tell, but I'm not going to bother finishing this video by like waiting for the next box to come, so I'm going to end it here as the flooring's pretty much done, and then as soon as that comes I'll just quickly whack down that last bit. So yeah, that is the end of this episode of this build. Hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, subscribe to the channel to see more. Probably going to be going on to the electrics next, I guess.